What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Infinite Psyche podcast with your boy Brandon.
Matt.
We're here for episode 5, Regret. Should be an interesting episode. This is a pretty heavy topic, I feel, for humans in general, you know what I mean?
And this topic comes from Jessica.
Thank you.
And that's at Jess, don't stress.
Much appreciated.
Appreciate the topic.
Good stuff. I'll say what's up to y'all one. So, I guess we can kick it off with the main question behind it. Obviously there are going to be certain regrets we probably won't be able to talk about on here.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you say when it comes to your biggest regret? What was the reasoning behind it? You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest regret I ever had. Oh man, that's a hard one. Like, I know everyone says like no regrets and everything happens for a reason, but I regret a few things. A lot of it has to do with my behavior. Alright, so the biggest regret I have, once upon a time when I was 18, I had just gotten my car. There was this party up in Huntington Beach, and I had to go to work the next morning, and it was already like 10 o'clock, and I thought, I can make it.
I know that.
So I drive up, and I leave there about like 4:30, and I'm coming home on the 5 freeway, and right by San Onofre, the checkpoint, I'm coming down about 90 miles per hour, because my mentality at 18 was like, hey, the faster I get home, I won't fall asleep. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did fall asleep behind the wheel right after the checkpoint. It was probably half mile past it. I started going from the fast lane into like the center divide, so I start hearing and I overcompensate the wheel. Instead of just going like this and correcting it, I move it, lose all traction on the wheels. So the car just literally slides like this and hits the front end on the other side. I go all the way across the fast lane to the slow lane. And then flip vertically at that point, hit, and then it kind of like the bottom part slams down, and then I move horizontally and slide.
Dang, bro.
So the cop comes and he's like, listen, if you had hit that cement goalie, you'd be dead, man.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, man.
So I have had quite a few near-death experiences. That was the most intense one, because it was like I felt like I was literally about to move into whatever's next.
No, for sure, but goodness gracious.
Like, it woke me up, but I was just like, yeah, I regret that. I mean, I've learned a lot from it, and it's even shaped my entire moral structure. And we're 18, we're wilding out, but huge lessons that day.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I mean, what was the question you said? What was the best that you learned from it? Or?
So, I guess so. What was the reason why? Why do you regret that?
I mean, I regret it because it was completely unnecessary. I think most of my regrets come from things that I'm just like, that was unnecessary. Yeah. I didn't have to go. And I was still acting like a schmuck, dude. I literally kicked out my window, because they say, oh, you can kick out your window. I get a bus. It's made to do that. So I kicked it out. I crawled on top of my car to show off, because there was a campground there, and this guy's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm going to be late for work. It's just the sheer ignorance of it, and how unnecessary it was. I look back on that with shame, and I'm like, man, that was ignorant, man. None of this needed to happen. These campers could have had a nice morning digesting their s'mores. Yeah. Instead, they got to have this fucking idiot slamming onto the center divide, moving all the way over across, flipping, and then being like, what the man? Yeah. It's 5 in the morning, bro. We sleeping in a tent.
You're out here wilding.
Yeah, I'm gonna have diarrhea from the freaking s'mores like this kid.
Oh, son.
So.
Yeah, that's a pretty big lessons to draw from that one, for sure. To say the least. Good. I'm just glad you're alive, brother. For real. I'm glad you got out of there okay. Not a lot of people do.
It's borrowed time right now, man. Honestly.
We're all on borrowed time.
Right.
Son. We're all short-lived for this planet. We gotta do what we can while we're here.
Yeah. What about you, man? What's your biggest regret? And what did you take away from it? What was your learning lesson from it?
So I am kind of on the tip of like, I don't like to call them regrets because it's something I may not have. Okay, if I just had a chance to make the decision again, with the ones I would consider regrets, I would probably make a different decision. So that's the only reason why I guess you could slot them into that category for me.
Would you make a different decision before it happened, or because it happened, now you would make a different decision?
I would probably before. Like, my mindset, well, that's the thing, is when you're young, bro, your mindset is just not so focused on what can happen later on with what can I get right now, you know what I mean? And this was also, like, this was me newly 21. I've told a couple people this story, but I like this story because it shows the ultimate highs can lead to an ultimate low real quick, you know? So, and that's why I don't like to necessarily look at it as a regret, because I've learned a lot, and I think if I hadn't done that, I'd probably be out wilding way more right now than I am, you know? And I'm glad I had that moment to humble me. So I'll try to make this story as brief as possible.
Tell us, man. Tell us the story.
I can't implement certain people and say certain things because of the scenario, but I will try to give the most broadest. I'll try to get y'all what I can. So, I was working at this thrift store, we'll call it. And I was pretty good buddies with this assistant manager there. And so one night we're closing the store up, and he's like, "Hey, bro, I got invited to this family birthday party. You know, I'm pretty good friends with like the dude and whatnot. And they invited me over. It's supposed to be like a real big good time. And he did this quick little look around and thought there's gonna be stripper there too. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm single, 21, just turned 21, by the way. Barely even. I had just gotten a new car and everything, too.
Oh, dang.
So, I'm like, sure, let's go. I got a car, man. Let's go do that. So, we got off of work. We go and get some money out of the bank, and then we head over to the address that they gave us. So, I'm kind of, like, he had told us strippers. So I'm thinking, like, we're either going to go to a strip club, or maybe it's going to be, like, somebody renting out a hall, something like that, you know what I mean? We drive up to this big old mansion. I won't say the city name, but in the vicinity. And I call it a mansion because I'm from Oceanside, bro. We don't just see big ass houses just everywhere. Like, even like this is a super nice neighborhood, but like this house is huge, son. And there was armed security all around the house. So obviously, I'm not that dumb. I realized, okay, this is a little more serious than I thought. Like, this isn't just a regular old birthday party with someone having a
kickback, put some barbecue on, like,
have a couple girls come over here. No, this was like officiated or something like. So we walk up to the door, we get searched, they do a full pat down, frisk us, the whole nine. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go. And so we go inside, they let us inside the house. There's like maybe 10 dudes there, and they're all over 40. And they're all older black men. That being said, my homie was a skinny little white guy. They were all, like I said, over 40, older black dudes. Every single one of them. So, me knowing my culture, wheels start to turn a little bit, but I'm trying not to think too much of it just because of everything I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the living room, there's a big old stage. Big old, stripper stage. Yeah. A couple poles, lights up, whole nine. And then in the corner in the back of the room, there's like this like cage that they have set up. It's like I guess it's like a stage with like a cage looking thing that girls can like get in, like dance, whatever. So nobody's out yet. The guys are all just sitting talking to each other, drinking their drinks or whatever. So we walk in, we go to meet the owner of the house and the person. I guess it was his birthday, and we're talking to him and whatnot. My homie had bought him a bottle of Hennessy. So immediately he was like, "Oh, come in, guys! Like, you guys are cool. Like, you brought me some Henny, what?" And so we're chopping it up. We're talking. You seem like a cool guy. Like, we were having a normal conversation. It wasn't like anything out of the box, out of the ordinary, nothing. Mm-hmm. And then we're talking. Then he starts doing this thing, and a couple scantily clad females come out. They got a couple drinks, and they give us the drinks or whatever, and they start talking to us and whatnot. Baby, I love you, by the way. You already know the story. This is my past, obviously, several years ago. I love you, gorgeous. So we're talking to them a little bit. So I was driving. So I had gotten like a beer from the store before we had gotten there because I just wanted to have the beer and then chill. Because we're going to be there for a minute. So I wanted to make sure I was chilling. Or at least I thought I wanted to make sure I was chilling. So, like I said, we started talking to the girls, and obviously you know how women can be, and with men who have not a lot of control of themselves, maybe. They gave me a drink, so I took it. I was like, okay, whatever. I have this one. Maybe I'll have maybe one more. Just because we're here and it's free, and they had spent like a gang of money just on alcohol alone. So we walk back in the place, talking a little more, and then I guess like the madam, I guess what you would call it, like the lady who runs the girls, I guess.
The lady pimp.
Yeah,
lady
sure.
Pimp.
She walks out, she brings us all into the living room. She's like, all right, show's about to start. So we go on there, we sit down on these chairs and whatnot, and we're sitting there waiting, and then all of a sudden the girls all come downstairs, single file. They start wrapping around the stage. And you see that, you see your window right there?
Yeah.
They had a window exactly kind of like that, with the shades and everything, but shades were pulled closed. And so all the girls start walking up to the shade, and they kind of stand around it. And then the madam walks into it and opens the shades up, bro. It was stacked to maybe about that fourth line up. Dollar bills. Stacks of just, I don't even know how much it was. It had to have been over like several grand of just dollar bills just stacked against the wall. And it's funny when I tell this story because I don't know how believable it sounds because I'm just telling you my experience. But they all were grabbing stacks off the wall and just started passing those stacks at once. Like I had like 3 stacks, fat stacks of just ones that these strippers were giving to us. Because they were giving it us to throw at them. So at the time, my dumb ass is like, are you sure? And so the madam's like, you're fine, honey. You're cool. Don't worry about it. Just have fun. So, we start having fun. You can draw what happens from there,
I'm wondering what happens with the regret part of this.
Well, that's why I started this off with like ultimate highs, lows, shit.
Oh. Okay.
So, bro, like I kid you not, it felt like some. You know me, I rap. I've been doing music and stuff my whole life. You see music people doing, or like rappers who have their fancy clothes, all that shit. It felt like a music video, dog. It was. I thought I wouldn't ever be in that spot until like maybe one day I had made it. But next thing you know, I'm hearing all this is going on at once. And so obviously that's a lot to handle, man. Yeah. So I got, I started drinking more, and the girls were giving us more drinks and getting us Luda, and we were, doing what guys do in that type of scenario. But unfortunately, I didn't have control of myself because I was just so caught up in everything I was doing and trying to have fun with everybody else. Yeah. I just kept drinking, thinking that, we're going to be here all night, so I can, sober up soon enough. But I obviously got past the point to where I ended up just blacking out. And so now this part gets fuzzy because I don't necessarily even know what happened. I just remember like talking to a girl and then black, and then I wake up and I'm like trying to like recontrol my car because I had just gotten hit from behind. But mind you, I don't even remember even driving up until that point. Damn. I just remember like I said, I was talking to someone, I blacked, I woke up trying to take control of my car. I ended up running into like this electrical thing. I was just had enough adrenaline in myself that pumped through at the time that I was able to wake up. Me and my homie got all this stuff we had out the car. We got out the car real quick. My homie was trying to tell me, like, bro, we should just book it. Like, that way you can come back, say somebody stole your car later. Otherwise you can get DUI. Yeah. And at first I was on board with that, but then I blacked out again. And then from what I remember from the blackout, apparently a security guard came up and I started talking to him. Apparently I didn't want to leave my car because I wanted to own up to what I did and stuff like that. Which, I guess I am glad drunk me had some moral to him.
Yeah, moral center.
But at the same time, whatever. I digress. Anyways, so long story short, cops end up showing up. I wake up I regain consciousness again during them doing the sobriety test on me. Yeah. And then they put me in the car. I black out again. I wake up at the station. They're taking blood out of my arm. Black out again. Wake up in a cop car driving towards Vista. pass out one more time, and then I regain consciousness and don't tank. You know, I'm there for the rest of the day. Pretty much just slept there most of the day. There was like maybe 4 of the dudes in there, and they were all sleeping. Same thing, drunk shit. And yeah, so I totaled my car, got in a DUI, and you know, my folks had to pay a bunch of money to bail me out and stuff. And it was rough, man. And that's why for me, like nowadays, I will not touch a drink if I don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Like, and if I know people around me are going to be driving after having drinking, you get a stern warning from me.
I think that there's a lot of regret that people watching may have had when alcohol is involved.
Oh, for sure.
And actually, on my story, I was not drunk. I was tired. They say that when you're tired, it's the equivalent of being drunk. So either way, still something I regret. But that's something I think a lot of people, once alcohol is involved, they start getting what they would classify as regret, just because decisions and judgment is compromised at that point. I don't even drink anymore. I didn't drink, what has it been, like 4 years? Just because so many situations I would just be like, nah. Yeah. It's like I said, it didn't need to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And it made a lot of people get the wrong impression of what I'm about. And I'm like,
that's a big part, bro. You know, I feel like that's probably when a lot of people would draw that source of regret from, is because it's something that you know is not necessarily in your character that happened. I know for me, that's my biggest thing. Is like I know who I am, and and everybody who knows me knows me. So it really sucks when something happens that is completely not me, but I'm the one representing that. You know.
I mean, like, I like what you said though about regret. Like, you know, regret it's teachable.
Yeah, man.
Those moments are teachable. So like, it's fair to have a human response and regret things, but maybe there's something special about the experience that teaches you, and maybe even those around you are like, I don't want to be that guy. Because even outside of like a teachable moment, like I had a shift in my entire like train of thought. You know, so like I was like super Christian before that accident, and like during the moment where I almost died, I didn't pray to any God. I was just like, you know what? I don't think I believe in the guy. Went through my mind as I'm literally about to die. And I thought it would be the opposite, like, man, I'm about to become a pastor after this. Like,
yeah.
It was the opposite effect. And I was raised Catholic and I was Christian. Since that moment till now, I wouldn't say maybe, I'm agnostic, so I'm open to ideas, right? Because I preach the gospel I don't know. I don't coin that term. That's Bill Maher. Religulous is a great film. If you guys are watching, you should check it out. But it's, you know, I realized at the moment I was more honest with myself.
For sure.
And my internal side. And it's hard to be introspective at 18.
Yeah. That's an
understatement. So when something traumatic happens or something that's very teachable, not only will you learn a lesson, but it might also change your brain. Because the brain, there's a word called neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity just pretty much defines that the brain is ever changing like plastic. It can remold. So it's... I agree with what you said. Like, I think that things that we regret can also have a huge benefit, but the main thing is not to repeat that, because that's why regret's not such a bad thing, because it makes us never want to go there again.
For sure.
Yeah.
100% though. You know, because you can also see the people who don't necessarily learn from that. When I was going to my DUI classes, man, I don't know how some of those people were there for the 4th, 5th time. I did it once. I'm good. I was chilling. I haven't had one scare since then. I haven't had even close to even getting back in that place, because it was terrible. That was the worst time. I soaked up way more amount of my life than I would like.
The insurance shut them down too, huh?
Yeah. Bro, that whole scenario. PSA, don't drink and drive. If you're around me and you faded and you trying to drive, I might fuck you up. Because it'll save you a DUI. And I'm fine with that.
You'll probably get more wrapped up in the car with Twisted Metal than just
getting the hands from your boy. Yeah, you will. You will. Or your bank account will be screwed for the next several years.
Yeah.
So, if you really want that on your conscience, because you think, oh, I can do it. I'm okay. I do it all the time. Nigga, you're an idiot. Wake up. Don't do it. Think about what kids you might have one day. Or if you don't want kids, think about the brain you want to have later on in life. And don't do it. Yeah. Stay home. You know, it's not that hard. Take an Uber.
things that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy that you said people are in for the 4th or 5th time, man. I just imagine like a little circle, everyone going around. And be like, well, this is my 6th time. Joe, you on the 2nd hand now? Yeah, I guess so. You'll be using your toes soon. You know, like you gotta.
Yeah, bro.
You gotta learn.
You have to, and that's what whatever decisions you make. You know, sometimes they're gonna make good decisions, and they're gonna push you in the right, you know, where you're trying to go, and you might feel like, okay, well, I made a really good decision here. This next decision I'll make is gonna be an even better one.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be, you know, but how do you know if you didn't take a second to actually analyze the decision first?
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, a big thing too, is thinking before you're doing stuff. Obviously, when you're young, it's a little harder. You know? You're a little more driven by impulse because you haven't had the experience yet.
Yeah.
You know. So.
I mean, it also comes from perception on knowing what should be regretted and what should. So, for instance, like a lot of the things that we regret, maybe not all are justified to be regrets because so much good has come from it, and there wasn't too much consequence about it. It just was such a shift in our life that we were going to classify it as a regret. So for instance, like I got let go from Sprouts because I was snacking on an apple every other shift, but I was told at the beginning that that was okay, and there's a lot of gray area there. And plus, let's be honest, most people snack in most apartments, so it's like I was singled out, and I think about that and I was like, I could regret that, but what happened was my life kind of got back on track. I went back to school, audio opportunities, which me and Brandon were discussing before this episode, which I can't really like dive into the details, but like great job opportunities are lining up. So sometimes like you get a kick in the butt from the universe of saying, okay, this is your path, like you got to keep it going, like stop relaxing. And where I might have looked at it as a little bit of regret in the beginning, it's like, oh, there's nothing to regret here. But there's other things where you try to convince yourself like, oh no, it's cool that happened, but it should be a regret because there was a teachable moment, and maybe that's why some people are there 6 times.
For sure.
To them, it's not a regret.
Yeah.
You know, but also don't get hung up on things that aren't regrets. Like some of them are just like supposed to happen in life.
For sure. For sure.
So,
I think you hit that one on the head, man. You know, I think that's the thing is people see regret as like weakness. Like I know a lot of the people I know, the second you say, oh, I regret this, I regret that. No, bro. No, man, I don't regret nothing, man. I made the choice I made when I made it at the time. So, I know you did. And I know that's why you haven't probably learned since then, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay to look back at something not like with the choice you made and want to make better choices. It's okay to do that. And I think it's important we do that. Because then we get the chance to have closure with ourselves and move on and progress. You know? But like you said, you just nailed it, bro. Don't get hung up on stuff either. You know?
Yeah. Like, to be able to discern what should be a teachable moment, like what you should regret, you know? It's okay to have both, like, to look at them as something that's positive and teachable, but also still remain to know that that is a regret, because that starts the train of thought to say, okay, how can we resolve this so next time we don't have 2 things to regret?
Yeah.
But yeah, classification, organizing those is very important.
Definitely. It's interesting, man. The power of words, man. You know, things like that automatically trigger certain feelings and emotions in people's minds. You know what I mean? Like, even though we all kind of generally feel the same way about them, we're so stuck into having to side with a particular perspective on it that people are afraid to get out of that.
That's true.
So I'm glad we get a chance to break down some of those barriers, bro. You know?
Also, if you made it to this part of the video and you've watched it this long, thank you. We appreciate you.
You dope.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell. Like, this just helps you so you know when the videos come out, and obviously it helps us. But yeah, I think did you draw the one last time?
Yeah.
In the bucket?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick another topic. Again,
yeah.
We appreciate you guys like coming through and dropping topics, and like gives us content to talk on, and it's kind of cool because we don't really know what's coming, and we had to talk on it, and we would eventually have to have guests on and talk about it. But what we can do is in the discussion in the comments, if you guys have something you want to share about your own regrets, tell your own stories, feel free if you are comfortable doing so. we'll respond and have like a nice discussion in the comment section.
Oh yeah,
because we want to bring you guys in the fold of the conversation too.
Oh yeah, we're trying to get better about it. This is still obviously new to us, so we're trying, man. It's a whole, takes me like 30 minutes to an hour just to like put up some of our our promotion stuff, because I have to make the logos and I have to switch up the different things. So this stuff takes time. So we're trying. We're very appreciative of everybody who's already communicated with us. We're gonna do our part to try to communicate back and make this as integral, much of a process as possible. Please give us some more topics. Our bowl's already looking a little shy. We could use some more, please.
And plus, you're doing a lot of other ventures right now too, as am I doing. I'm in a coma of homework, always, and other ventures and audio. But we're gonna keep doing this podcast. We're always gonna make time. We're great for accountability partners, but we enjoy this just as much as those who watch this long do. It's just fun.
Yeah, man.
These conversations are important.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna draw a name and a topic. We're gonna give you a little shout out. This is gonna be next week's episode.
Ooh, here we go.
The topic is the universe. This one comes from Brittany, and that's at Brittany Naturally. So, thank you.
Is it gonna show? Yeah, it worked that time. All right, I'll still put up a little thing for y'all. But hell yeah, I'm glad that was okay. I know I looked at the video last time when I put it up. It was just like a blank piece of paper. It looked like.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do nothing about the lighting there. I was like, oh well. Okay, well. You still saw it.
So that's a very vague topic, but we can do any topics, even childbirth, like when you're talking about.
We can do it. It's part of the universe. It might just get tossed in there. Shoot.
Honestly, you get more points for the weirder the topic because it puts us in a position to talk about things that I'm sure no one on YouTube has. So get creative with your topics, honestly. But universe will be fun. This will be a cool one.
Oh yeah, man. I don't even know where we're gonna go with that one, but. I like it. It's nice and open-ended.
We're going to go to infinity and beyond.
Oh, yeah. Buzz Lightyear for you mutes. All right, man. Well, brother, as always, great conversation, sir.
You got a friend in me, man.
You too. You're really going to hit those story on the end. That's what. All right, y'all. Well, thank you very much. Deuces. Oh, shit.